Well, hey, Pipers. Welcome back to the Bass Piper channel. Rumble, welcome back. Today I am smoking my Boswell black coal pot, 9mm. And in it, I am trying out the Briar Works Cherry Cobbler Aromatic. And I have to tell you, this is pretty good stuff. Corvette Jim. I can see how you rank this up there with Blood Red Moon, buddy. This has, I believe if I read it, I'm trying to remember what I had on it. Excuse me, guys, gotta get a drink of Wawa. But if I remember, I don't have it in front of me, but I think it had Virginia, barley, your basic aromatic mixes, some Cavendish, of course, with a kind of gives you that, if you like chocolate covered cherries, you know, the ones that come out at Christmas time. Now, I love those. I know there's a lot of people that don't like them. But that's basically what this tastes like. Now, granted, everybody's palate's different. But it's got a good flavor to it. It's got a good room note, breath note. So not bad at all. Not bad at all. Guys, I want to give you an update with my saga with the passing of my mother. After I did my video yesterday, after cutting the grass and all that stuff, yesterday afternoon about, I don't know, about 3:30, 4 o'clock, I hadn't heard from the funeral home concerning my mom's death certificate. And I knew that the clock was ticking on what we were going to be able to do. And everything hinged to that of, I'm going to move you guys, I'm going to move me around this way. Hopefully I don't mess up the, whoop, there you go. I kicked it right with my foot. Well, that gives me more white light, don't it? But anyway, let me get over here. How about that? Yeah, now I got light over on this side, but anyway, we'll go with it. Where was I? Oh, yeah. Something told me to call the funeral home. I know what that was. It was my wife. She told me to call the funeral home. Find out what was going on with Mom. I got the funeral director on there. And he said, no, we hadn't received anything yet. Well, what he didn't know is I knew the death certificate had already been sent. You remember my friend I worked with that used to work at that funeral home that my mom's at? Because she is a funeral director / embalmer, or got her license and work, she had access to look up if mom's death certificate had been done, and it had been done. In fact, she looked it up Monday night, so they had it in there all yesterday. Had I not have called, most likely they would have let everything ride through. We wouldn't have been able to view mom. But God came through in all of this. Because I told him that the preacher was getting a little bit perturbed. And I was tired of the runaround. And I want to find out. I want them to call the hospital and find out about the death certificate. Now, I already knew, but I couldn't share that information because I did not want to get my friend in any hot water. Now, she could legally look these up. There was nothing she was doing out of hand. But she just didn't want to burn a bridge with that funeral home. The death certificate came in with acute kidney something. I can't remember what the rest he said, but COVID wasn't on there. So, at 9 o'clock tomorrow morning, we got to be at the funeral home and get 30 minutes to be with mom, or to view mom, and to take any pictures or anything for dad that we need to take because of the death certificate not having COVID on there. What a fiasco. And but praise the Lord, prayer was answered, and thank you for y'all's prayers through all of this. That a door was open, God intervened and worked all of this out, that we're able to finally view mom just a few hours. Mama's graveside is at 11 o'clock tomorrow, so those of you all that are praying, just be praying around that 11 o'clock hour, if you would, for Bass Piper and his family. And we got to be at the funeral home, as I said, at 9 o'clock. We get from 9 to 9:30 to view mom, and then they have to close her up and get her to the graveside, because I guess there's a cemetery regulation that you got to be, if you got an 11 o'clock service, they got to be there by 10 and get her set up. So, thank you guys for your prayers. Thank you for all of the comments you all have been dropping in the ash hole in the comments for me. And listen, guys, I fully agree with some of y'all. I mean, bet y'all have commented. It's a mess. It is a mess. But I tell you, learn from this that you all don't get snagged with this. Or if you do, you'll know how to handle it. Don't take no for an answer. Keep pursuing what you got to pursue. Push them to keep the COVID off the death certificate. Now, if a loved one goes in with COVID, I mean, it's pretty explanatory, and they, God forbid, happen to die with COVID, well, then all bets are off. But when you're going in there, it was just like the gentleman that I heard, the man, and this was in the heat of battle of COVID. The man died of a motorcycle accident running into a car. But he died of COVID on the paperwork. I tell you, we got to get this country turned around some kind of way. We are headed for a train wreck. And if we don't stand up, those of us that are still Bible-believing, God-fearing patriots in this country, And that doesn't necessarily mean, I'm not saying that even as a political thing, I'm just talking about a patriot of the United States, wanting our Constitution, wanting our Bill of Rights, wanting our things that we need. God help us. Think about how old you are right now. If they're doing this already, some of you young bucks that are young pipers, you're in your 30s, you're in your 40s. A bass piper and some of the other older guys are old enough to be your father, and even your grandfather. You'll get there. Just wait till you live long enough. Now, you think that's funny, but you'll get there. I had an eye-opener one day at work when I realized that some of the chickens I worked with, I call them chickens, the girls that I worked with. You got to remember, I was on a staff of 7. I was the only male in my dermatology section, or in my section, Mohs section. The rest of the MAs were all women, young women. I had this young girl, was 24 years old. I mean, I was old enough to be her grandfather about. And that was really an eye-opener. When you get to that age where you're no longer in with the mix, you're now older than the mix. And, they can call you daddy, So, but when you young guys add another 20, 30, 40 years onto your age, just think how it's going to be. Me and Miss Bass Piper, I told my son's 37. I said, Brandon, I said, by the time Mom and Dad get there, they'll probably just give us a shot and send us on our way. That'll be euthanasia, So, but I hope nobody else has to experience this. I know some of y'all have commented that you have, and you've had dealt with some things with your parents passing and all of that. Yeah, unfortunately, we're living with mankind. You see, those of y'all that may not understand the Bible very well, or maybe you're just not versed at this time in your life with the Bible, and maybe you don't really care about having nothing to do with God at this point in your life. I pray that will change for you. But listen to this old preacher. We are living in Satan's world. The Bible teaches us as Christians, we're just pilgrims passing through. Right now we're in the world with man and Satan. There's 2 gods the Bible talks about. The God of this world and the God of heaven. The God of this world is Satan. The God of heaven is our Father above that created me and you. I pray that if you don't know Christ, that you might come to him before it's eternally too late. But I tell you, as long as we're living down here in this old world, we're going to have to deal with this stuff. It's part of the course. We know it's not fair. We know it's not right. We know what they're doing. We know how mankind can be a scumbag. I mean, it's all about greed. It's all about the money, honey. They're not worrying about whether you live or die. The medical field don't really care, a lot of them. I know we've got caring people when I say that. I know there's some good people in every aspect of life. So just put that on the shelf. I know that. We know we got a lot of scumbags out here in every field. And a lot of them, all they care about is the money. It don't matter if they have a DR in front of their name, as in medical doctor, or a PhD DR, or an XYZ, or whatever they want to put in front of their name. In the medical profession, we're a herd of cattle. We're going right on through. As one drops, wah, another one's born. Remember what I told you a few videos ago? They never run out of clientele, do they? Huh? We're always going through. That's a good profession to be in if you can do it. So therefore, you're just another piece of cattle going through. They see it so much every day, it doesn't faze them. It's just like you do in your job. Whatever job you do in career, you do it so much you can do it with your eyes closed. It doesn't faze you. But when you're dealing with people, though, you should think they would take a different take on it, but it's the same concept. It's all about the money. We have lost in this nation and in our country the empathy and the sympathy for people. Empathy meaning we don't take the time to feel what other people feel. We don't empathize with them. Therefore, people that don't have any empathy, they struggle with having any sympathy. Better you than me, man. That's what you hear. Sorry for your luck. They could care less. Long as it ain't them. Everybody is about any until it falls in your backyard, till the bomb lands in your backyard. You don't think nothing of it, and hey, you just keep on rolling with the flow. But always remember, the bomb will see your backyard somewhere in your life, in some form or fashion. The bomb will always drop. May not be today. As I've always said in some of my videos, payday don't come every Friday. Payday might be 6 months, 2 years, 10 years, 15 years from now for you. But learn from Bass Piper's situation with his family, and maybe some of the stuff that I've said on the last few videos has been a help to you, or at least brought to light some things. Stay on top of paperwork. I'm going to tell you something too, guys. Me and Bass Piper talked about this, and if we had to do it all over again with Mom, we'd have made sure, she had one. But you want to make sure you have an advocate. And if you've got a good PCP, family doctor, that you can get involved when you're in the hospital or something like this with your loved one, get one. Or get her, he or she involved with the records and all of that. Now, our PCP already had all the information on Mama from the hospital, so anything the hospital tried to pull over, we knew we could get it from her. Also, PCPs can be good advisors than those in the hospital. If you second guess, if you're guessing something, you need a second opinion, or you're second guessing something to get us, go to your PCP if you've got a good one you can trust. Bounce it off of them. Hey, this is what they're talking about. This is what they're telling. What do you think? What should we do? Because when you're in the time of crisis, you're in the time of stress, you're in the time of anxiety. We can't think straight all the time. And we call the shot, we make a knee-jerk decision, and later on we go, man, why did I do that? It's good to get a second professional opinion and a medical opinion. So anyway, with Mom, it was a little different. Mom couldn't have the surgeries. There was other things Mama had with complication. And Mom was old. She was 96. Well, she was still my mom, and she was still a human being, and she was still breathing, and until God took her home. So I hope this has helped you. My Lance is going on 20 minutes. I hope this has helped you, and we can learn something and glean something from Bass Piper's situation here with his mom. But thank you guys for all your prayers. Thank you so much. Hey, and by the way, if I didn't say it again, the cherry cobbler is good if you want to stretch out and try it. Now, this is Bass Piper's palate. I'm smoking it in my Boswell. My Boswell is not even fully broke in yet, so take that for what it's worth. But the cherry cobbler does taste good, and got a nice room note. So not bad at all if you want to venture out and try it from Briar Works. I got mine from Four Noggins because Briar Works was currently out of it last week. But Four Noggins had it. And it's the first time I ever ordered from Four Noggins, and they did a good job. And it already comes in its own mason jar and sealed up. So man, you can't ask no better than that. You don't even have to convert it. So we're going to try this a few times. And Corvette Jim, good impression, buddy. I like it too, buddy. I want to get out my cold blood red moon and try it up against it. It's been a while since I had the blood red moon, and just see how it fares to this. But hey, good. It's a good for my impression of it. It my first time out. Good tobacco. If you want to give it a shot, and if you like aromatics, you know. So anyway, guys, we're going to get off of here. It's going on 21 minutes, and yesterday my 25-minute video took me 3 hours to upload off the YouTube. I didn't think I'd ever get that thing. I don't know what's going on with YouTube with the uploads, but it is forever unless you're making a 5-minute video. I don't know what the deal is with that, but anyway, let's see. I don't have my watch on right now. I don't even know what time it is. But anyway, and I can't check on my phone. But, by the time you all see this, it'll probably be 2 or 3 hours since I made it, the way it's uploading. But you guys take care. Hey, relax, have a pipe. Thank you for your prayers, guys. We finally are able to see Mom. And I just pray now that Johnny Onion sent me a text and told me, he said, man, let me warn you. He said, I've had this happen in my family that, depending on how they kept her cool and all of that, she might be doing some decomposing as well. So you got to take that in consideration. So we hope not, but we'll find out when we get there. I'll ask before we go and review, because that's the last thing we want to see of my mom is her decomposing. I hope we have better luck with that. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for your prayer. We're able to see Mom. We're going to get Mom's closure and get Mom secured tomorrow morning. So keep us in your prayers. And until we get back on here again, relax, have a pipe. Hey, and don't forget the blessings of God in our life. He's blessing us all the time, just like he's just blessed Bass Piper. All right, you take care. We love you guys. Bye-bye.